Hi guys, so today we have audio only because I am traveling and I received a video request on wedding dresses and doing a review of wedding dresses and how to recognize different lines for wedding dresses. I love wedding dresses, so I'm all for it, so that's what this video is going to be about. If you guys like these kinds of videos, then I do have videos like this on Miriam Style Club, where you can check out all kinds of exclusive content. So I'll leave a link to that down below. So let's get right into the video. So the reason why wedding dresses are so difficult to type is because they have all kinds of different body type elements. You know, a lot of these companies, a lot of these designers, they don't necessarily design for one body type or another. So there's a lot of different elements mixed into most wedding dresses, really, so it can be really difficult to tell which body type it would be good for specifically. So I'm going to talk through some of these wedding dresses. I could miss some things about each dress, I could omit some things, so if I do, then definitely leave it in the comments, and let's get right into it. So this one, you can see this lady, she is most likely flamboyant natural herself, and of course it's hard to say from one photo, but she looks like she might be flamboyant natural. She has the longer lines, and I think this dress looks pretty nice on her, and I would say it works pretty well. You can see that the lace adds a lot of yin. At the same time though, the skirt having these longer lines, and the lines are not very rounded, they add a lot of yang, really, to sort of offset the yin of the waist emphasis and the yin of the lace here. So I think this works pretty well on her. I wish that her hair was maybe a little bit more tousled, and the open neckline is also a good option for flamboyant natural. This would probably work for gamine or romantic. It really depends. It could work for romantic. It looks like it's pretty fitted, so maybe it's more for gamine. Maybe for soft gamine it would be. There's no color block or anything like that, so that's why I'm hesitant to say this is for soft gamine. So I would say maybe theatrical romantic or romantic. But this is one of those things where it's like it has a lot of elements of different types. Like I could see even flamboyant gamine looking good in this because the shorts kind of create some boxy shapes. So there's just a lot going on here. So I can't really commit to one body type for this specific, I guess it's a wedding dress, wedding romper. This one I would say would work well for soft natural or flamboyant natural, because again, flamboyant natural, just like with this one, the long line of the train will offset the embroidery and things like that, and this very open back creates more longer lines, so that also offsets the yin of the lightweight fabric and the yin of the embroidery. So this would work pretty well for flamboyant natural. It would also work well for any natural, soft natural, pure natural, and it could work relatively well for soft dramatic as well. It's the same for this one: soft natural, soft dramatic, pure natural. That's right. Yeah, or even flamboyant natural, because the longer lines can sometimes offset the yin. And you also have to remember what's not here. So you can see this dress here, it's really quite tight all the way around the legs and everything like that. So, you know, it's more yin. This dress is more yin than this one and this one. So this one I would say is more for romantic or theatrical romantic, even though it has a train. The train is also pretty neat, and it's, you know, it has just embroidery and it's a bit tighter, so the length of the train in this case does not offset the yin that is, you know, all over this dress, right? It's pretty form-fitting, which is yin. It has a lightweight fabric, embroidery, so it's all quite yin. I would say theatrical romantic or romantic. This one I would say probably for theatrical romantic again, because there's no offset, you know, to the yin of the dress. So I would say this is more for a theatrical romantic, because the skirt just looks a bit more rounded and it doesn't look like it has long lines like this one. This one has longer lines, and you know, you have to try the dress on and just see what it looks like on you. It looks like she's pretty tall, and she's pretty tall too. And here the dress, even if she is not holding the skirt of the dress, I feel like it would still create some more rounded lines rather than long straight lines like this this one. So this is more of a yin dress, I would say, and this is more of a yang dress, so to speak. So this would work well for a dramatic, for a flamboyant natural, even though it has some of this lace. Again, you can see she might be flamboyant natural maybe, or dramatic. It's always hard to say from one image, but she's more of a yang type, and I think this dress works pretty well for her. So you can see this dress is a bit more yin, and the lady wearing it is a bit more yin as well. So she has some shorter lines, and the dress really suits her. So it has some, you can see how here the skirt just looks like it has a bit more, it's more of a poofy skirt. It's a bit more rounded. So it has more rounded lines to it, and that makes the dress a bit more yin, and it's also a bit more, it looks more fitted too. So around the waist area somehow, because of how poofy the skirt is. I guess overall it looks more fitted. I would say this is more for, it's hard to say because I can't see the front obviously, but it would work maybe for soft classic, for romantic. Can you guys guess? I would say this would actually look really good on flamboyant gamine. You could say to yourself, well, Miriam, come on, this is theatrical romantic. And I agree. I think it would actually work for theatrical romantic. I think it would work for romantic. I think that it would actually not work too well for soft gamine because of this kind of like cleavage emphasis, low neckline type of situation. I feel like that wouldn't work as well for soft gamine. For theatrical romantic and romantic, it would look really quite sexy on them, very sexy, a sexy wedding dress for the romantics, and it would look just right on flamboyant gamine. But why would it look just right on flamboyant gamine? I talk about this in a club video for flamboyant gamine, and it's basically this idea of mixing opposites. So, you know, she has a plunging v-neck, but at the same time she also, which is yang, right? And then she also has some waist emphasis, some very stiff waist emphasis, so that's a bit more yin, and then the fabric is pretty stiff, so that's yang. So overall, this dress actually has more yang to it than yin because it has the stiffer fabric, it has the plunging V, and we're only fooled because this model, you know, this model is quite curvy, so we think the dress is yin, but really it's the model. Her body type is more of a yin body type, potentially. You know, it's hard to say from one photo, but this dress is more for flamboyant gamine. It has more yang than yin. It has the stiff fabric. It has the plunging v-neck, and the only yin that it really has actually is a waist definition. So it has more, it's a mixture of opposites, and it has more yang than yin. So this is a flamboyant gamine dress. And I actually gave an example of something similar where Lily Collins was wearing this type of idea, you know, where she had some plunging v-neck, but at the same time she also had a lot of yin to the dress, and she is a flamboyant gamine, and it looks really nice on her. This would be great for a soft natural because it has some longer lines, it has some lightweight fabrics, and it has this long open back, which creates some longer lines as well, and it has some intricacy. So overall, soft natural. I would say this would actually work well for a dramatic classic. You might consider, why not soft dramatic? I feel like on soft dramatic it could look a little bit stiff in this case because of the stiffer fabric. So I would say dramatic classic, this would be great. It has some cleaner lines, it's pretty minimal, and it's relatively symmetrical as well. So I would say for a dramatic classic this would be great. Oh, this would be great for soft dramatic. We have the plunging v-neck, and we just have some longer lines, and it looks pretty luxurious, so soft dramatic. This would be great for maybe a natural, like I said before, so anyone who's a natural would look good with this kind of very open back and this kind of long sort of straight skirt and a long train. That would be amazing. So this would work well for a romantic maybe, because, you know, this dress, you might think to yourself, well, it has that long open back, right? But at the same time, it has so much yin because it has lace all over it, and it's so fitted as well, and it has the lightweight texture. So, you know, it's really difficult to say that this is more of a yang dress. So this is more of a yin dress, and it's more for romantics or theatrical romantics. This would be amazing for a soft dramatic or a dramatic. So higher necklines actually work well for soft dramatics. So this would work really well for a soft dramatic. Also, Also, it does not have that much yin to it. Sure, it's a little bit of a lightweight fabric, but it's a wedding dress. What are you going to do? So this would be really good for a dramatic as well, because it has long, clean lines, or soft dramatic. So that would work for both. It just depends on how you do your hair, maybe how you do your makeup or your shoes and things like that. That would make the difference of having this be more of a dramatic or soft dramatic look. This is Theatrical Romantic. You can see, again, it's fitted, and the little tiny straps that are very dainty. Think about that if you are a yin type versus a yang type. Dainty, thin straps are more for people with smaller bones, like romantics and theatrical romantics, and dainty straps also work well for soft gamines, maybe for soft classics. So this would work well for a theatrical romantic, or I think it would look quite elegant on romantic, but it would also look quite glamorous and feminine and girly on a soft classic. You can see it has some cleaner lines and things like that, and it is it's a bit more simple, for a wedding dress, so this would work well for a soft classic as well. This would be really good for a soft natural or flamboyant natural or pure natural. So I would say soft natural, it would be best for soft natural because it doesn't have extremely long lines. At the same time, I can also see flamboyant natural looking really nice in this. Maybe if the sleeves were longer, that would work better for a flamboyant natural. Just add more of those long lines to sort of offset the lightweight fabric and everything like that. But any natural, this would work well. I would not say this would work well for a dramatic or soft dramatic because the lines are just not clean enough for a dramatic or a soft dramatic. So now we're at a point where the video is getting pretty long, so let me just breeze through some of these and try to include some body types that for some reason were not included just in this random selection of wedding dresses. So this would work well for soft gamine. Of course, it's a short dress, but don't worry, you don't have to have a short dress if you're a soft gamine. What you can do is, it's really the reason why I say soft gamine for this is because of the neckline and the sharp waist emphasis. This dress could also be long and poofy, and it would still be good for soft gamine. So this would work for soft gamine. This would be wonderful for soft classic. So we have the very clean, minimal sort of lines to it, and it has a little bit of intricacy. So this would be really wonderful for a soft classic, or otherwise it would also work for a theatrical romantic. I think it would be a little bit too stiff for a romantic. This, of course, flamboyant natural, that would be amazing. So if you are not attached to lace, then as a flamboyant natural, just avoid lace, if you're not attached to having lace, then this would be really good having some sort of satin type of dress with very long lines. This would also work for soft dramatic. It would work for flamboyant natural, these longer lines. Something like this would be really cool on a dramatic. It depends on if the front is also sort of a plunging v-neck, but you can see this lady looks like she might be more of a yang type, maybe a dramatic or soft dramatic. So maybe a dramatic or a natural. So this would work really well for a more of a yang type with the longer lines because of this sort of V detailing to the back, creating longer lines, and then that connects to sort of like the longer train. So it's all very long lines to the dress. So think about that if you are a yang type. This would work really well for flamboyant gamine. So you can see it has some of the geometrics here. It has a pretty stiff fabric, so that offsets the waist emphasis, the yin of the waist emphasis, and it just has some shorter shapes that are very crisp and defined. So this would be amazing for flamboyant gamine. This would work for classic or a dramatic classic. It has some symmetry. It's pretty simple. It has some clean lines. If she stands and looks at her shadow, the lines of this dress would be pretty clean. You can see it's all sort of one clean line. So this is more for classics. Versus here, remember, the lines are not as clean as the dress before. So that's sort of the difference, between that dress for dramatic classic and this dress, where this dress, it looks like the neckline is a bit more open and kind of more jagged as well. And if she stands and looks at her shadow, the lines would not be as clean as so the lines are not as clean as in this dress where it's very, very clean lines. This would be amazing for dramatic or soft dramatic, that deep V effect and the longer lines. And I would not recommend this for naturals because these lines are very clean lines, so it might look a bit stiff for naturals. This is really for dramatics, dramatic and soft dramatic. This is for a pure romantic, and just like I said in my previous wedding dress video, that I'll leave a link to that down below. It's really hard for romantics, pure romantics, to find a wedding dress because pure romantics need everything to be soft, and a lot of wedding dresses actually have a pretty stiff corset type of top, and that might look a little bit stiff on some romantics. So this would look really nice. I feel like this is all very soft and it has short rounded lines, so it'd be perfect for a pure romantic. This would also be quite nice for a pure romantic. I feel like even though the top of this dress is a little bit stiff, it's really softened by the detailing on it, and the entire dress has shorter lines, so this would be perfect for a romantic. Be sure to wear some intricate jewelry with this dress, with this type of neckline. Don't leave your neckline just bare like her. If you're a romantic or theatrical romantic, definitely wear some intricate jewelry for your wedding. This would be great for flamboyant natural or dramatic. It would work for both because it has the longer lines and it does not have that much yin detailing. This would be wonderful for a romantic. Again, very, very soft, rounded lines. This would be really wonderful. I think this would work really well for a soft classic or a pure classic or a dramatic classic, because it has clean lines, of course, so that already puts it into the classic category, but at the same time it has a little bit of a v-neck, which would work more for maybe a dramatic classic, but it also has the yin detailing, which works more for soft classic. So really the yin-yang balance of this dress, I would say, is slightly more yin leaning because of the waist definition and the fittedness, but still overall it has the clean lines. I would say it would work really well for dramatic classic. You can see Nina Dobrev looking really nice in this. It would work for soft classic. You can see Naomi Watts looking really nice in this. So this is for really all the classics, and I really love the clean lines and pretty minimal detailing to this dress. This would be amazing for a flamboyant natural or soft natural, or soft dramatic actually, because the satin fabric would also look quite luxurious. This would be perfect for soft classic. I really like the symmetry, and I love just the fit of it and the added yin that's very understated. It's an understated type of yin, so the lace is not over the top or anything like that, and this entire look would be great for soft classic. I like her hair too for soft classic, symmetrical and neat, so that this is all really wonderful for soft classic. This would be perfect for a pure classic. This would be perfect for a dramatic. I really like the asymmetry, and I also like the deep long slit. That is awesome for a dramatic. This would work really well on a dramatic as well. Has the geometric shoulders and it has pretty long clean lines, and it would also work on a soft dramatic, but it would work better on a dramatic. It would not work on naturals because it's a little bit too, it would look a little bit too stiff on any natural. This would be wonderful on soft natural. This would be amazing. If you are a romantic, you might be a little bit drowned by these kinds of sleeves, so this is really for soft natural. You can see this lady, she might be a flamboyant natural, and this dress is best maybe for soft gamines. So it has it's a pretty short dress, so for soft gamines that would work really well, and it has some sharp waist emphasis too, and it has 3/4 sleeves, and that also breaks up the lines further. Instead of having long or short sleeves, 3/4 sleeves can break up the lines. If it had a higher neckline, it would totally be a soft gamine dress, but otherwise it would work for, as it is, it's theatrical romantic or soft gamine. This is wonderful for soft classic, so you can see it has some clean lines and some added yin. This is more for romantic, so you can see how it has some pretty rounded, shorter lines, and the straps are pretty dainty, and it has a lot of yin detailing and waist emphasis too. This would be wonderful for soft gamine. The higher neckline really makes it a soft gamine dress in this case, and it also has some sharp waist emphasis, so this would be great for soft gamine. This would be amazing for a dramatic or a dramatic classic. You can see how, even though it has lace detailing, they go in vertical lines, so that's pretty interesting. It's a creative way to add yin without it's a creative way to add femininity without adding more yin than you have to, is by getting this kind of design where it's like the embroidery goes in vertical lines. So that's pretty interesting there. I would say dramatic classic or dramatic. Again, soft gamine with the higher neckline and some waist emphasis. I would love it if the skirt was a bit more poofy. This would be great for a dramatic, this kind of long v-neck type of effect on the back and the clean long lines. That would be great for dramatic. Theatrical Romantic, very dainty, very fitted, lots of lace detailing, very intricate, so, and still pretty sharp waist emphasis too. So this is Theatrical Romantic. This is another great one for Theatrical Romantic. You can see it has sharp waist emphasis. It's really quite fitted, and it is quite dainty, and there isn't that much yang to offset the yin. This is, I would say, pure romantic, so you can sort of compare the difference. I feel like this is better for Theatrical Romantic. It has a bit more stiffness to it in a way, and maybe at the waist and things like that. And this would work well for romantic. So a Theatrical Romantic could wear this, but on a romantic, this dress would look very, very sexy on a romantic, even though if you're a romantic, you could also wear this kind of dress. Asymmetry is great for flamboyant naturals, so that's another way if you are attached to having some lace or some lightweight fabric to your wedding dress and you are a natural or a dramatic, you could incorporate some asymmetry into your dress to offset. Asymmetry is more yang, so you could offset sort of the lightweight fabric of the dress by creating some asymmetry, especially with longer lines like this. So this would be amazing for flamboyant natural. So that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If I left your body type out, or if you have some comments on a certain dress where I could have left out a certain body type that it would be good for, of course I must have, because we would be here forever if I discussed every single body type and how each dress would look like on each body type. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will talk to you guys next time. Check out Miriam Style Club for some exclusive content. I think I have a video. It might either be posted or it might be coming up on work attire for the body types, and it's in this kind of format where it's like a Pinterest reviews. So if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy that one. I'll leave a link down below to that. Leave some comments below. I'll talk to you guys next time. Okay.